Hi, and welcome to Sentinel Sports Extra. This is our high school football regional semifinal prediction show brought to you by CT Roofing and Power Washing.
Power
I'm
wash.
Tim Shire, founder and publisher of the Lake County Sentinel. Down below, we have Joey Schneider, our high school football beat writer, and Tommy Shire. He also covers the high school games for us on social media. So we got 4 games to talk about this week, guys. And
Once again,
four really good matchups, I think, too. But before we start, I want to talk about that the matchups this week are, they're all good matchups. No matter who we pick to win, it's just a prediction.
good matchup, yeah.
Yeah.
Every week.
And these
Every
games
week
could all
from now
be
on.
close. And I don't think that, it's some of us are going to be wrong because it could go either way in these games. And it's high school football, and the fact the guys made it this far, putting in all that work, is a big deal. You don't work that hard, not be
easy.
rewarded, and the fact you got this far is rewarding. These schools that are playing in this, however, are usually teams that do get this far, so let's get started. We got Region 1, Division 1, Region 1, and that's Mentor versus Canton McKinley. Mentor is 12-0. Canton McKinley is 8-4. Canton McKinley's losses were all to tough teams. They lost to Massillon Jackson, Massillon Washington. They lost to Avon. So these are they played a tough schedule, and of course, Mentor played a tough schedule too. I think it's going to be a good game. What do you think, Joey?
I think that this is going to be their last loss as well. Great team, obviously Canton McKinley. Kind of one of those storied high schools, but Mentor is just they're powerhousing it right now, undefeated. They show no signs of slowing down. Unbelievable offense, unbelievable defense. I think Mentor takes the win this week.
Okay, Tommy.
I'd have to agree. Mentor's going to win. I think it'll be a close game, though.
Okay, I think it's going to be a close game also. But I'm also going to go with Mentor because I think there's just something about that team this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I think it'll be close, but I think Mentor will have enough to get past them and get to the regional final. So now we'll move on to the Lake Catholic versus Glenville. Now this is a interesting matchup. Lake Catholic has gotten back to being a really good football program again. We know Glenville's been a good football program for 20, 25 years with Ted Ginn as their head coach, sending guys to the NFL. And the guys he sends to the NFL, they have good careers. It's not like they just get there and then they're,
usually so.
They have good careers. His son is a perfect example. So, Tommy, what do you say?
Glenville had a tough schedule. So did Lake Catholic. Feel like Lake Catholic's the better team, but I'm going to take Glenville in a surprise.
Joey?
Me and you talked about this, and then I've talked about this with a bunch of other people, and I actually am going to flip from what me and you talked about. Glenville has played a ridiculously tough schedule. Their losses are against some big teams, but they've had some huge wins as well. One being St. Ed's. But of all the teams they've played, they haven't played anyone with a quarterback like Frankie Trinetti from Lake Catholic. They're great at skill positions all across the field, Lake Catholic. And I know Glenville has a lot of kids that are going to be going D1, but they're still a young team. They're still a young team. They still had 3 losses this year, even though they're against good teams. I'm going to take Lake Catholic in this game in a very close game. I think Marty Gibbons, your head coach Marty Gibbons, is going to have this team ready. They know what's in front of them, so I'm going to go Lake Catholic.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to go with Glenville, and my reasons are, Marty Gibbons is a good coach. I agree. But he's no Ted Ginn. And Glenville has a proven track record. They won the state championship last year. I'm going with Glenville. I think it will be a close game, too. Any of these games this weekend or tomorrow, I don't think are going to be blowouts. I don't think you get to this stage and you have blowouts. But I'm going to go with Glenville. And that's, I think experience wins out here. He'll have his kids ready. And those kids, they might be young, but they have football programs that those kids have been in for years, and they know what system he runs. And it's not like they just showed up in August at Glenville. They're there for a reason, because they're good football players since they were little kids.
Well, they have Sincere Johnson. He's a junior, has offers from pretty much everywhere. He's like 6'3", 240, defensive end, outside linebacker. He is unbelievable, and he'll be going, one of the top tier schools. And like
sincerely, he's really good.
Oh, I mean they have players all over the field too. I'm just gonna go with the older team.
Okay,
that's what I'm because it's a coin flip to me.
It's boring if we all pick the same team. So
yeah.
So here we go. We got the Perry Pirates, the first of the 2 CBC teams in the regional semifinals. We've got Perry Pirates versus Streetsboro. Perry is 11-1. Streetsboro is 12-0. I'll go first on this one, and I just feel it ends this week for the Pirates, and I'm going to go with Streetsboro. I just think they've played, they're just really, really good, and I feel like they played a better schedule. Not that Perry's played a bad schedule, but I just think Streetsboro wins this game. I guess at this point it looks like I'm just anti-Lake County this week, but I'm going to go with Streetsboro. What about you, Tom?
I'm going to disagree with you and say I think Perry hasn't had that great of a schedule, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Streetsboro as well.
Okay, Joey?
After covering that game last week,
3-0.
I'll tell you, Struthers' defense played very well. I will, and Perry's quarterback may have had an off week. I know he's got all the records there, but that offense was not that impressive. They turned the ball over carelessly. If they don't turn the ball over, they could win, but they were very careless with the football last week. So if they do that again, they have no chance.
All right. Joey, what do you got?
This one is tough because Streetsboro is a very tough team. Perry is also a very tough team. Like Tommy said, they had an off week last week. Walter Moses, the quarterback for Perry, unbelievable quarterback going to Toledo.
Definitely solid.
Great kid, great student athlete.
I wouldn't put the bad offense on him necessarily either, for being honest. So.
No, it's and But unfortunately, I am going to agree with you guys, and I'm gonna say Streetsboro is going to win this game.
We're all going with Burrow.
And the thing is people say, "Oh, they won states last year." You don't win states every year.
No,
Well, you also have to
Right,
look
man.
at you have to look at some of what they lost, and they brought back. They only had six seniors last year, but one of those seniors was Jaden Studio, who went to the University of Akron,
Yeah.
was a phenomenal running back, and when you lose that kind of talent in your backfield in your running game, they did have done very well this year under Coach Bob Gueswich.
He seems like a great guy as well.
He's very unique. He's awesome. But
and you think about it too. High school football is very similar to college. With you got different guys every year. And you say they won the state championship last year. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Michigan won the national championship last year too, and they're not going to win it this year.
They lost 19 starters. I mean,
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Perry didn't.
we don't have the same teams every year.
This is another one of those. We could be coming back next week, and all three of us were wrong. This is another coin flip game. Both teams are very.
At this point, it's mostly coin flips.
Yeah, I've been wrong before, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong again. But we got Kirtland versus Columbia. So we got Kirtland 12-0, Columbia 10-2. I mean, I'm not going to even. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm going with Kirtland. Joey.
This is not a coin flip to me. This is Kirtland all the way.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm going to take Kirtland even after their slow start last week. I'm going to take Kirtland again, which I will be covering this game.
Okay.
I'll be there at Berkshire covering it.
Joey's going to be at the Lake Catholic game, Lake Catholic Glenville.
Yep.
So, so we got the games out of the way. But I want to announce now that we're going to have Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Special Teams Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year. And we will be announcing those at a later date after the playoffs end. But I don't just like awards that are just awards. I like awards that have names.
Name to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So our Defensive Player of the Year award is named after a former Brown who is from Lake County. We're going to name our Defensive Player of the Year award the Bob Golick Defensive Player of the Year award.
I like that.
Brought to you by the Lake County Sentinel, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The Lake County Sentinel, Bob Golick Defensive Player of the Year. And then our Offensive Player of the Year is named after a person who is very dear to Tommy and I and to the Menor football community, the Menor sports community, and the Lake County Captains community. We're naming the Offensive Player of the Year award after everybody's friend, Joe Miller.
Yeah.
Joe, I would love it if Joe passed away recently. I would love it if Joe was alive to see this, because Joe was one of the greatest human beings I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
And so speaking of great human beings, the next two awards also are named after great human beings. We're going to have the Special Teams Award, and that is going to be named the Derek Sharp Special Teams Award. Derek went to Perry High School. He was a great baseball and football player. He was CBC Punter of the Year.
All state, right?
And he, most importantly, besides being a great human being, was a Marine, a career Marine. And so I spoke with Derek today, and when we give the award, he is going to be there to give the award, and I'm honored that he is letting us use his name for this award because he is an amazing human being.
Great.
And our final award will be the Coach of the Year award. It is named after another Lake County legend who anyone who's lived in Lake County the last 40 years knows. Former radio talk show host, former PA man for the Lake County Captains, former teacher in the Wycliffe school system, former coach for many years, coached many different sports. He was the first person, he did PA for midget football, well, youth football as they call it now. He was the first person to tell me, Tim, you know, there's this kid that plays in the youth football league in Menor. His name's Mitch Trubisky. He's going to play in the NFL. So we're going to name this award, the Coach's Award, after the legendary Ray Malavic. So we'll be giving those awards out at a later date after the football playoffs end. And we put a lot of thought into who we've selected. We've already selected the players. We're just going to wait to announce them. There's a lot of great players that we thought of for these awards, and coaches too. So
and we you know, being Lake County, not only we covered Lake County, but we also, you know, Geneva, Chardon. We've covered, you know, every school in Lake County and around Lake County. So, you know, this is something that.
But the award, these awards will always go to players in Lake County,
Right?
Because that's the 11 teams in Lake County.
Exactly.
Good amount of
All
teams.
players and coaches are considered for the awards.
Who knows? Maybe one day Menor Christian and Andrews Osborne will have a football team.
Right.
That would be great. Yeah. But so that's
Cornerstone too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's
you could have 14.
That would be 14 teams. Jeez.
No.
That's a lot of teams.
We have
That's
to
a
get
lot.
more writers.
Lake County doesn't feel that big.
Lake County is the smallest county in Ohio by size.
But
Yeah.
population-wise, it's not.
It's one. Of the
No, it's one of the
I think it might be like 5th or 6th.
yeah.
So, but well, that's going to be it for the show.
It's got the best football.
It has great football. Lake County
Phenomenal
has great
football.
football.
Yeah.
State champions every year, at least one.
And
So-
and volleyball.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Oh,
to the
we
Lake
got
Catholic.
all sports. All the sports are really good in Lake County.
Congrats to the Lake Catholic Cougars volleyball team for their, I think, 3rd or 4th consecutive state championship this year.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Great. That's all right. Okay. Well, I think that's it. We'll be back next week to talk about how we were wrong in our games.
Every
but
game.
until
Oh God!
Until
Not
then-
every game.
well, I can't get every game wrong because some of us didn't pick the same ones.
That's true.
But
I'll
until
probably
next
get every
time,
game
I hope
wrong.
everybody has a great week. And for myself, Tim Shire, for Tommy Shire, for Joey Snyder, have a good night, everybody. Oh, go Cavs.